unfortunately, because of the perception.
But I was born and raised in downtown Newport News. Actually, I lived in the Harbor Homes most of my life.
The Harbor Homes project in Newport News is a quiet kind of place. It is home to over 650 people, many of them elderly.
We didn't really go out of our community for anything because most of the downtown businesses were Black-owned businesses. So we really had all that we needed right here in our community.
James A. Fields House, purchased by lawyer and teacher James Apostle Fields in 1893.
We call it the 25J room because a lot of things that we grew up with were downtown Newport News as far as the theaters, the movies, all of that kind of stuff, just artifacts from that. Michelle Gilliam was the person who got me involved in theater. I was the good witch in The Whiz. The Moton was one of the theaters that I went to as a child, remembering that we could get in almost for little or nothing. But it was so exciting to be able to be downtown, have our own theater. We could walk to the Moton Theatre, and so it was a safe place.
Is the Moton Community House. First opened as a cinema, it is now a multi-purpose facility providing culturally enriched programs for the community.
Being able to come back home and see that the Moton is still standing, even though it's not open as a theater, it is still the Moton Community House. And I'm really thankful that when I came back home, I was able to reconnect with Linwood DeBrew.
In a morning press conference, DeBrew announced his candidacy to fill Bobby Scott's vacated House of Delegates seat. With economics being the main issue, DeBrew says he has an inside feel of the district's needs, along with the experience to get the job done.
I was brought to Newport News when I was 3 months old, from what I've been told. And I've lived in Newsom Park. I lived there for about 40 years or more.
We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary.
I became involved in the civil rights movement. 1957, I joined the youth league of the NAACP.
I call him the seer because it was interesting to sit under him and listen to his wisdom about downtown and about Newport News. We both were community focused, and so he was the person that I would say I will go to the most.
And of course, because of our activity for civil rights, dissatisfaction with segregation and police harassment and brutality, we could organize an organization, and each one of us was given a task to perform. And mine was to organize the broader community. We formed an organization called the Greater Southeast Development Corporation. We created several catalytic projects that were designed to get the community moving and get black people to begin to think about upgrading our quality of their life.
The East End has more than its share of problems. Business and civic leaders here say the unemployment rate may be as high as 40 to 50%.
That's me and Brother Akbar. This brother was with me when we founded he put up the first $500 to incorporate the corporation that bought the Moton. And this is some of all the various programs that we had at the Moton. A dance, touch a teen, GED.
There is a problem of drug abuse and trafficking in the 4 high schools here in Newport News. That much officials will admit. But how widespread it is not known.
The Newport News PTA Council realizes that any cuts in the school budget will probably result in loss of educational programs for all students in Newport News public schools.
GED was one of our favorite programs, one of my favorite programs. It gave their young brothers and sisters an opportunity to reach up for education when there were those who had been forced out of school or dropped out of school or kicked out of school.
Show what we can do when we come together. When you look at the history of the Moton and how that was, you know, a sense of entertainment for, you know, people that grew up in that community and was around that community during that time. But as time progressed, you know, it kind of transitioned into a center to provide other resources for citizens in the community.
They were really good about having Thanksgiving dinners there as well, where they would serve the community from the Moton, and people would come and they would have where the theater part, they would have tables and everything set up, and then they would cook in the kitchen, and we were able to serve the community during Thanksgiving. So there were some really positive things that happened even after theater closed, especially the boxing. That was really fun.
Let's go back some more.
Oh wow, look. Yeah, the boxing team, look at that.
Including 20 knockouts with 4 defeats. Fighting out of Newport News, Virginia, here is Jerry Slugger Forrest!
Well, my dad got me into it when I went to the Moton. I quit all sports. So my dad was like, he ain't gonna quit this, like he ain't gonna do this. So I went down to the Moton. Mr. Brew was there sitting down. And then Coach Bilal Abdul Muhammad was the coach. And you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, the ring is in my mind and all this shit. And I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try. And I came in that day, jump rope, came in the next day, I ain't never left.
We had a lot of boxing, but none that had the determination and the dedication that these young men had. And they stuck with the program.
They never charged us. You know, Coach Dula coached us for free, and we could just train there all day long. I was able to witness and hear about the programs, like going to the boxing programs, so to speak, seeing how those young people would go in there and that would be their, like I keep using the word, safe haven. That would be a place where they can go to and get away from what was going on in the streets, get away from what they may be dealing with in broken households. Boxing's played a role. It's who I am. At the Moton, it was family strengthening and it was a safety program. So Coach Dula, his biggest feats were coming in and leaving out the same way.
Real simple, real simple. We'll do this for like 3 minutes and we'll call it the last round. So basically, hands up real quick. So I'm gonna throw 3 punches, so I'm right-handed too. So I'm just gonna go lightly. 1, 2, 1, 2. No, keep your hands there. Just 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, when I'm doing that, you're gonna slip every time. Yep, so ready? So I'm gonna go 1, 2,
when you're doing this, and like I said, it's a lifestyle, your parents see you change, your friends, your cousins, your wife, your kids. So people around you see the change. I think I make people better because I am a boxer. Seeing the power and influence that it had on some of those guys that I've known that have gone on from circumstances that were challenging, and being able to have a place like the Moton that they could go to and like a recipe from where they could be better and build themselves up. And now I see some of those guys my age, around my age, that are now doing positive things in the community.
Fast as hard as you can. Push. Oh no, I ain't gonna stop. I'm saying no, go faster.
When the facility was operating, and there was a plethora of people in the community from all walks of life. Because when the Moton was set up, it was set up as a safe harbor, a place for people without a home could have a home, have a place to display their talent and skill. We were teaching the young boys how to fly airplanes. We had a relationship with the airport. And all these young brothers was in our airplane program. But we had a relationship with the airport up there in Newport News, Patrick Henry. And then we went over to Williamsburg Airport, and they used to pick them up and take them around and fly them around.
Being a champion for the community, so to speak, for when they had a sense of injustice. My most vivid memory of him standing in the Moton was, I can't remember the year to be exact, but the community was standing up for a gentleman that's pretty familiar, Michael Vick.
Michael Vick got in had a little problem with the dog. Every organization, facility in this community that was tied to the city would not allow a rally or anything to take place in their facility. Dr. Marcellus Harris called me and asked me, could we use the Moton? I said, by all means.
Record-breaking NFL superstar, a former #1 draft pick, losing a $120 million contract over dogfight?
Undergoing his circumstances when he had the situation in Atlanta with the Falcons, and everybody was talking down on him, publicly shaming him. And not a lot of people stood up for him as the individual that we knew him to be in the community. Pops at the time rallied a bunch of local people here in the community, city, region, and we stood up in that Moton, and he spoke on behalf, which was one of the few people at the time that would stand on behalf of Michael Vick at that time, because of the way that the national media and even local media was on him about the situation that he found himself in.
I will redeem myself. I have to. Thank you.
Two of his alleged cohorts pleaded guilty today. Now that all three co-defendants have entered plea bargains, Vick is on his own to cut a deal or face trial on federal charges.
For what? He's not a criminal. For what? And the pressure being put on some of our national leaders to open their mouth and speak against him.
This young man is entitled to the 14th Amendment rights, which is due process.
They were just strong vocal leaders for all that they did to provide for a community that felt underserved, a community that felt unheard, and a community that felt that they were misunderstood.
As we sit here and we have this occasion today in which we celebrate the members that are now going to be serving for the next few years, this is also a vital time in which we cannot just come together for this moment, but continue to come together for the course of time in which we can make decisions that's going to be impactful for our citizens. And I look forward to the continued engagement with our council and school board members, which is going to be critical, and then also for our citizens moving forward and making sure that we're doing all that we can to provide a city that everyone wants to be able to live, work, and play and worship on a daily basis.
Seeing the work that those guys did as a kid myself, that all inspired me. That inspired me knowing that we could be able to have that impact on a community, have that impact on the children, have that impact on a city, being able just to be, whether, like I said, a building, a space that people can just come to and be a safe haven, like we say here, or to be a place where you can come and sharpen yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Nearly 35,000 tons on a barge bound for a New England power company. 2 years ago, this immense facility was a rail yard, but as many as 465 workers helped transform it into an ultra-modern, highly automated operation that unloads rail cars of West Virginia coal and through a series of conveyor belts, moves, grades, and then loads the coal into ships.
We worked together on a project to see what was really causing asthma or respiratory diseases or issues down here in the Southeast community. We got a grant from the Peninsula Health Department from the state, and we worked together to get people trained and have focus groups to learn about what is it that's causing people in our community to be sick. So that was probably a 6 or 7 month project that we worked together, and I think that was one of the most impactful because we used the Moton Community House as the gathering place.
Knowing the people that were doing programming there, such as Mr. DeBrew, such as Mr. Muhammad, seeing my father doing some of the things that he did in the community there, and then knowing that back I was in high school and graduated, there was boxing programs that were going on down at the center. It just kind of, in a way, just encapsulates the fighting spirit of the building.
It was a community house, but it was a place of shelter and refuge. If you didn't have bread, you can come get a slice of bread. Like they had loaves of bread. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get bread 24/7. That little pantry door was always open. We used to have like soup there. You know what I'm saying? Like what is it? Feed the homeless on like all of the Christmas, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. It was crazy, man.
It's a place in the community that I believe that if it's reopened as a theater, I think it will galvanize the community, again, a place for gathering. Because we have been so divided for such a long time that I think for it to be a gathering place will be a wonderful opportunity for this community to come back together.
Knowing that it's kind of not really around, talk about that.
It's kind of heartbreaking. I just had a fight at the Boys and Girls Club. So I stood in front of the Moton, in front of the pictures of Coach Jewell and Mr. DeBrew for the interview. I'm only saying that to say, like, it's not getting enough light. Like, it needs $3 million for renovations. Like, I can help make it happen, but that's what I was telling him today. Like, we just got to start shining light on it. We got to start letting people know about it.
And those were some of our boxers from way back when we first initiated the boxing program. This was some of our young dancers.
In the community house.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Buffalo Wild, so
yeah,
presents the Buffalo Soldiers and the
Chin-Jig dancers, yeah.
All in the Moton Community House. Okay.
Yes, sir. I met a lot of brothers and sisters. I see them in different places. I don't even know them. They tell me that the first place they had a job was at the Moton. The first time they were given an opportunity to do certain things was at the Moton. I met 100 people come here to this house right here and bring their children. And I don't know the people. They just say they want the children to see me or meet me. And I don't know what appreciable impact I had on, but I must have did something that was good or all right. And that's what I hope to continue to do until I'm passed.
Always remember that it's not about you, but it's about the citizens of the city and what their needs are. So when you have role models like that, you will be successful. And I thank God for people like that have been in my life. We're community. We were really community.